Welcome into Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on this Game Day Friday on the show, 5 players that I want to see something out of them tonight. My stat hopes for tonight, and the Braves need to get Matt Olson going. It's all next. Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, and it starts now.
Welcome into this Friday edition of Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into that search browser. When you find us, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment. We are free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review there if you would, please, and then follow me on my personal Twitter page. That would be at JMCH316. It's game day, first preseason game. Now, look, I know I'm going to overhype, I'm going to overexcite and everything. But I am legitimately excited to see what the Falcons look like now as we move into the post-Matt Ryan era of this football franchise, right? I mean, think about it. Since 2008, this team has never had to worry about the most important position in the NFL getting a quarterback right. Think about that. This is the first time since 2007 that we haven't seen number 2 running around and leading this offense. So it is a new dawn, and I am legitimately excited. By the way, it's a 6 o'clock kickoff tonight, so remember, it's going to start early tonight. Falcons are up in Detroit for preseason game number 1. And don't worry, come Monday, we'll have complete overreaction. The Falcons are the greatest team ever. The Falcons are the biggest bums in the history of the world, right? We'll completely overreact all of this. So tonight, though, we talked about some of my keys that I'm hoping for yesterday on the show. Here today. So let's start with this. There are 5 players that I'm looking at. I got 5 players that I'm going to zero in on. I want to see something out of them. Not all of them are starters. We know the starters are going to play a quarter or so. Dan Campbell said his starters are going to play a quarter or so. So we're going to see some matchups early in this game that should be interesting. But here's the 5 guys that I'm going to be having my eyes on that I want to see if I can find something out about them. Number 1 is Kaleb McGary, who, having been up to training camp, he has had a good camp so far. He has legitimately won, as of now, the right tackle spot. Now, I'll say Jermaine Ifedi sort of is what he is. He's more of a swing tackle in this league, but that's fine. Look, it's not like he's maybe the best of the worst. He's legitimately bulked up, beefed up, gotten himself going, and he's motivated to win this job because he knows he's playing for his next NFL contract. Because I'll say this. Short of a Pro Bowl caliber season, he won't be with the Falcons next year. So I'm very excited and interested to see what Kaleb McGary does now. Can he be competent? Can he be a guy that locks you up and really protects that right tackle spot? I don't care how fast your quarterbacks are at running around. Justin Fields showed you last year. If the pass rush comes out to you and tries to maul you, you're not going to be able to run away from it, right? So Kaleb McGary is first and foremost on my list. Second is Lorenzo Carter. And I've talked before about the show that I think he's one of the X factors for this defense this year. I want to see, do I feel like I'm getting that player that we saw at the end of last season for the Giants, where he had, 5 sacks in 5 games? Or is it the guy who just kind of couldn't get anything going in the first part of the season for the Giants? So I'm excited to see what Lorenzo Carter, obviously coming back here to the state of Georgia, right? Getting it cranked up, getting it going, making plays. I want to see if I'm getting that guy from the end of last year from the Giants. Now, we'll talk about my remaining 3 guys here in just a minute. But first, let me mention our sponsor today, BetOnline.net, your number 1 source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Look, hey, I'm just saying, Falcons are a 1-point underdog tonight. 35.5 is the betting line, right? You want to find your odds. You want to get into betting. We're in NFL season now. We are officially in NFL season. BetOnline.net is your best resource for all your sports wagering information, live betting, esports, more. We still got golf. We still got boxing. We are dead smack in the middle of baseball pennant race season, right? So you got all of that available to you. BetOnline.net is the best source for all of your scores, podcast news and information, wagering information, trends, everything out there. Simple, easy to use. You can use it right on your mobile device, right? So head to betonline.net today. BetOnline.net is where the game starts. So McGarry, Carter, two of my names. So the remaining three guys, Kadri Allison. Now, we're going to talk about the stats here in the next segment, but I've said before, this is make or break for Kadri Allison. Either he's going to show me that he's ready to be a competent running back in the NFL, or he's going to be gone from the Falcons and he'll move on to whatever his next step or phase is or whatever like that. I like Allison. Okay, I know this group didn't draft him. I like him. I think he has some potential. I see little bursts and blasts and blips and bloops when he's in and does some things, but I want to see if he can get some things going tonight. I want to see if he's showing me that he looks a little bit different and then he's hungry and he wants to win this job. Next, Adi Ogundeji, right? So I think there's a chance he might even start at one of those outside backers, tonight, because let's face it, Arnold Ebikede's camp has been, some questions about, how well he's been and how much he stepped up. But Ogundeji is a guy from last year's draft class that, look, I thought played well in some of his moments. Now, statistically, if you look at his numbers, there was nothing to get excited or brag about, right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he not like he came in and tore it up and sacking the quarterback, things like that. But he's going to get a definite shot, whether that's starting tonight, whether that's being a starter when the season begins. But they're counting on him in year 2 to take that leap forward. I want to see how hungry he is to go win that starting outside linebacker job, because Carter's going to be one of your outside linebackers. Now it's a matter of Ogundeji and Ebiketie that are going to be trying to find that second spot on the outside linebacker spot. So I want to see what Ogundeji has going on tonight. And then more general, and I think that I'm going to give you the name who I think it's going to be, but whoever starts at center tonight. Now, I do think Dahlman is who's going to start at center tonight. That's just what my gut tells me. The unofficial depth chart has Hennessy or Dahlman listed as who could be the starting center. So I don't really care. Again, I've said Hennessy and Dahlman is that gif on Twitter of the Spider-Men, the two Spider-Men that just are pointing at one another like you're the same guy, and all that. Because to me, again, I feel like they're the exact same guy. The battle for who's going to start in week 1 at center is going to go all the way through all 3 preseason games and heading into week 1 of the regular season. Those guys are neck and neck. You know why they're neck and neck? Because they're the same guy. They're two undersized centers that are cerebral players. There's a reason why. I mean, they profile the same guy. They don't profile like Nick Mangold, like somebody tried to tell me about Drew Dahlman, okay? They profile like the same guy. They're undersized, potential to get pushed around. That's the scouting report on them, So I expect that battle to go. But whoever starts tonight, this is an opportunity for them to separate themselves from the other guy. And I want to see, because look, we're not quite at the Mike Person, James Stone era of center in NFL Falcon history, right? Where neither of those guys could snap the football to Matt Ryan in shotgun without it bouncing off the turf. Matt Ryan had to get a baseball mitt and act like he was Ozzie Smith out there fielding grounders off the turf when he was in shotgun with those guys. Now, Dahlman last year, when he got a chance to play, kind of looked a little bit like James Stone. Kind of looked a little bit like Mike Person when he was out there. Didn't really impress anybody when he was out there. But again, rookie, all this, that, and the other. I get it. I understand like that. Now he's had a full offseason. Now he's had training camp. Now we're getting into preseason. This is a chance for either one of those guys to really secure that job. So whoever starts at center, because that's the coaching staff saying, hey, look, we have some confidence in you. We feel like you can get this thing done. Whoever starts at center, I want to see who that is and what they look like when they're given this opportunity. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about my stat hopes for tonight as well. Hitting hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.